Bartov, and I'm a FEMBA 2011, just about to graduate. My focus in my studies was in marketing. I actually have degrees in theater and graphic design, and I'm currently a direct marketing creative manager at Princess Cruises. I pursued my MBA because I really wanted to deepen my understanding of how corporations worked, how they prioritize what they're looking for, and really become a better marketing strategist. And the FEMBA program definitely helped me do that and apply my knowledge in real time.
Hi, my name is Kristen Brown. I'm also a FEMBA class of 2011. We're actually getting ready to graduate here in just a couple hours, which is very exciting. I am an accountant. I specialize in financial and regulatory reporting for financial institutions. I actually did my undergrad in history and political science, and so I decided to pursue my MBA in order to help advance my career and help me really get that specialization and have a degree behind my name that really was geared towards what I do for a living.
Hi, welcome, class of 2014. I'm Sachiko Shiohara. I'm FEMBA 2011 as well. My background is in marketing and brand management. I work for Kashi. I'm an associate brand manager there. And my desire to pursue the MBA was really to accelerate my career path within brand management because I love what I do. But really to get to the next step, you know, having both the skill sets that an MBA offers and kind of the degree on your resume is really important. And so that's why I wanted to pursue it part-time.
So in terms of what to expect, 2014. So first off, I think the first thing you're gonna be doing is leadership foundations, which for me really left a lasting impression because not only do you get to intermingle with other sections, which is really the first and probably the only opportunity you're gonna have for a bit to really do that in any sort of meaningful way, but you'll see that you develop a camaraderie that is not only surprising in an MBA program that's supposed to be competitive, but that will really follow you through the next 3 years. You'll make friendships, you'll get to know these people really, really well. And so I think that's a really great thing to look forward to. Also, because I come from a creative background, one of my concerns coming into the program was, how am I going to fit in with all these engineers and accountants? You know, I really felt like an odd duck to a certain extent. But the reality of the program is that there are so many ways to take part in various aspects outside of your classwork. You always work with, you know, for the most part, classwork is in groups, and so you get a selection of skills that you can work off of, which is great. And you know, I got opportunities. You know, I'm VP in the food club Anderson Eats, and I participated in the affiliates program. I designed various posters around campus. So I really got to contribute and bring a different perspective, which really helped me value what I bring to the table more, but also made my experience here more meaningful.
Yeah, so definitely welcome, class of 2014. You have a great 3 years ahead of you that actually unbelievably go by very quickly. It's hard to imagine that 3 years have already passed, and you know, we have this excitement of we're finished and we have this great accomplishment behind us, but there's also a little tinge of, you know, sadness that, oh, this has been so wonderful, you're not necessarily ready to leave it past you. But what's so great about the program is we get so immersed and we do form these relationships, and you get to know people that you will stay in contact with for the rest of your life. So, you know, my advice to you would be to come into the program and just take advantage of that. You know, get yourself involved in what it is that you're most interested in. As Dani mentioned, you know, she was the president or vice president of the food club. You know, if food's what you're most passionate about, join the food club. We have a wine club, we have a golf club, we have an entrepreneurs club. You know, every week there's something for you to be able to involve yourself with and take advantage of and get to know more people and to really be able to find those opportunities to express yourself and what's most meaningful to you. Leadership Foundations is definitely a great way to start off the program. You know, it does stay with you. It's a lasting impression. I remember my group, they put you in your group. In my first group, you know, climbing up the pole out in the forest and having the one group member who's afraid of heights and everyone's there cheering them on, and they make it to the top, and then you realize that you're pretty much capable of whatever you put your mind to, and that sets the stage going forward. So enjoy that, and you enjoy the time that you have ahead of you and make the most of it.
These guys both talked about leadership foundations. One of the things I remember sitting in the audience at the kickoff for leadership foundations was the guide said to us, both today at Leadership Foundations and throughout the next 3 years, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. And it sounds like a very simple statement, but I really took that to heart, and I definitely have carried that through all 3 years. My background is in humanities. I was an English major as an undergrad. Numbers are not really my thing, and so I was definitely feeling like, will I be a fish out of water? Not sure if I'll survive the next 3 years, but I definitely extended myself. And it's funny because some of my favorite classes were actually finance and accounting classes, which I never would have dreamt that would be the case starting the program. So, I think that's one of the key lessons that I learned in day one and really have put it into practice in the last 3 years. So I encourage you all to do the same. The other thing, as I reflect on the last 3 years, one of the biggest things I think that I take away from the program is you just learn so much about yourself through other people throughout the course of the program. So working on team projects, so much of the coursework is done on teams, whether it's problem sets or group papers, presentations, the Global Access Program. And I remember through the GAP, the Global Access Program, when we started out the process, one of the things that I was thinking about was, I hadn't really worked with the group of 4 people that I was working with previously, so team dynamics were kind of unknown, and I learned in kind of the first month of the process that I was the only extrovert of all introverts on our team, and the only more creative humanities person on a group of engineers. And so it definitely took some time and sort of self-reflection to learn, okay, how do I work with this team and get us to our collective goal, and get along and do it throughout the 6-month process. And we were able to do that effectively. It took some trying out different processes and testing some different group norm things, but you just learn a ton about yourself, I would say, both through GAP and throughout the entire process. And it's just invaluable, and kind of things that you think you know yourself pretty well, right? You were 25 to 30 when we're starting the program. You're like, I know myself, but at the end of it, you're like, God, all these things that I didn't know about myself. So I think that's one of the key things I'm thinking about today, as well as how much I'm going to miss everybody as we walk across stage. I've definitely made a ton of great friendships, and I'll miss everybody a lot, but I know that they're lasting ones.
And maybe, I don't know, one thing that the 14s should do this summer, or one parting piece of advice, or if there's one thing you could do, knowing what you know now, how would you have spent your summer, that kind of thing?
Taking full advantage of every single weekend is probably the one thing that I would have done before starting the program, because until you really don't have your weekends, and I do encourage you to always carve out some time for yourself. It's very, very important, but you will find that the weekends are probably some of the best opportunities you have to get your non-work work done. So yeah, enjoy the time you have. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but it's going to be well worth it.
My advice would be to throw out your television. Just kidding. No, but you lose a lot of your free time. So take advantage of the summer to, really enjoy some time with your friends and family. Maybe take a trip somewhere. Read a book for fun, because you won't be doing that for a while. you've already taken the GMAT, so you've already started the whole little preparatory process of getting yourself back in the mind frame from class, but there's a couple classes you can take on campus for math workshops and Excel workshops and things like that. So, take advantage of that if you think it's going to help prep you and kind of get yourself in that mindset of what's ahead of you, because it's a big commitment, but it's definitely worthwhile. And as I mentioned earlier, it goes by very quickly. So, take advantage of it and just realize that it's short term, 3 years, you can do it. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Live it up this summer. And I did the same thing because I moved to San Diego and I had 3 months to enjoy the summer before in California before I started the program. So I think just spend as much time with your loved ones and let them know that you still love them even though you'll be very busy over the next 3 years.